Doom, doom, doom. Potion, baby. Why is it invalid? E4, E5. Okay, okay. I'll just play the moves. It's E4. E4 by Capablanca, E5 by Leonard B. Meyer, Knight F3, Knight C6. I'm not sure what game this is. This is what Master Viriatovich put in the chat. D4, Knight takes E4, D5, Knight E7, Knight takes E5, B5, Bishop. Bishop B3, Bishop B7, D6. Oh, Knight takes D6. Oops, Queen takes D6. Resigns. Because he takes D6, Bishop takes F7. This is yeah, an unusual game for for Capablanca. The game that I had in mind is much more. Well, what shall we say? Capablanca-like. Famous game, you've probably seen it, but let's have a look anyway. Let's have a look. I like this game a lot. Then we have another Blue Order song coming up. I mean, New Order. Okay, from a cool game we go to oh, bloody final position. So Capablanca has the black pieces. He's playing against none other than Aaron Nimzovitsch, the inventor of my system. Mine system. It's a system, and I made it. So it will be mine system, and if you don't like it, you will be terminated. I can't believe I actually was in Vienna in Austria, and I did not do any Arnold Schwarzenegger impression to anybody. I'm so happy to be here. Unbelievable. Okay, so Nimzovitsch E4, C6 by Capablanca. The Caro-Kann. He liked the Caro-Kann. It's usually kind of a positional opening and solid and fits Capablanca's style. Advanced variation E5. Nimzovitsch liked to yeah, he played E5 against the French as well, trying to cement the pawn and overprotect it. Bishop F5, Bishop D3. Capablanca took and E6. So now we will have a French type of structure, but we've gotten rid of the bishop on c8. So the bishop is out, which is usually an accomplishment. So I think in modern chess, bishop d3 is not considered a very dangerous line here, I believe. Okay, so queen b6 and c5. So Capablanca liked this approach here, breaking in the center, attacking the pawn on d4. Nimzovitsch took, bishop takes e5, castles, and knight to e7. This does allow knight a4, which Nimzovitsch played, grabbing bishop on c5 and playing bishop e3. But okay, Kappa has now pressure on the e5 pawn, f4, and knight into f5. c3. Yeah, you have to play this if you're not going to move the bishop. If you move the bishop, if you don't move the bishop, I can maybe take this and take this. Although rook c1 and rook c8. So c3 maybe not strictly necessary, but he did play c3. Knight c6, getting the knight out. g4 could maybe be played, but it's a bit risky. I might just take on e3, play h5, and castle queenside, something like that. Rook after d1, g6. Maybe, yeah, this is definitely like a good French. And some of Capablanca's games in the advanced Caro-Kann, you can learn a lot of themes that you can apply to the French defense. So sometimes you can look at a different opening to learn themes and structures in your own opening. But okay, the French and the Caro-Kann do share some structures, so that's not exactly shocking. So now g4 by Nimzovitch, a move that I think was frowned upon. Most people say bishop f2, and g4 is creating weaknesses. Let's see. Capablanca took and played h5. g5. Now the problem with this, and this is very often the dream of players of the French defense and the Caro-Kann. Now you get the beautiful f5 square. We would love this to be a black squared bishop, but it is a knight, so it can challenge the knight. But also the king side is now completely shut off. White is not breaking or entering our position on the king side, so we can actually castle, and that's what Capablanca did. Another option is maybe to just play king f8, king g7, keeping an eye on this, but maybe it's not necessary. So he castled. There's no attack on the pawn, so we don't really need to protect it. Knight d4, queen b6. Pinning the knight, so there's no knight takes c6 yet. Rook f2, rook c8, a3, rook c7. Setting up the heavy pieces, and now finally this knight was pinned, but now after rook d3 the queen is protected, so now the knight is no longer pinned. So now Capablanca moves the knight on a5. He wants to keep the knight, at least for now. Rook e2, rook e8. I guess he's anticipating some kind of an f5 sack, and to be ready for that, but no such things. King g2, knight back to c6. So it seems like Capablanca is happy with a trade of knights now, but Nimzovitch does not go for that. And eventually we see rook c4. Eventually we'll see this knight jump into f5. And what I like about this game is, it's sort of an example of the use of heavy pieces with a safe king. Once again, to plug my YouTube channel, if you look at one of my pattern recognition videos where I talk about Anand's king, I think it's in number 2. I think it's pattern recognition number 2. I talk about Anand's king, and that's a pattern where the king is very safe and you have the heavy pieces attacking, and that's exactly what happens in this game. So it reminds me a lot of that. So let's have a look at what happened next. Queen h3, king to g7, rook f2. So Capablanca is just setting up for the eventual break on the queen side. He can very easily at some stage move the queen, play b5, a5 and b4. Minority attack and try to break through. So first he plays a5, rook e2, and now knight f5. And this one I really like. Now Nimzovitch took and pawn takes. Now this is hanging, and that actually gives black time. So Nimzovitch protected the pawn, but now king g6, and this king is actually, and surprisingly, completely safe on g6. And there's no real way for white to take advantage of this king, because if you do so, you have to invest 2 pieces to attack the h5 pawn, and then a breakthrough. Your king is also weak. I can play d4, queen c6, b5, b4. Maybe even attack this pawn. You don't have time to attack my h5 pawn, and if everything goes down the drain, I can play rook h8. So the king is safe. So now Capablanca will try to break through with his heavy pieces. Rook e4, rook d4, rook c4. So now all of a sudden dominating the 4th rank, very unusual. Queen f2, queen b5, maybe even setting up for a tripling on the 4th, maybe. King g3, now he takes. Pawn takes. if he takes with the rook, then we're penetrating. Rook e2, followed by queen takes b2. Possession of the second rank, game over, game set match. So Nimzovitsch has to take here, but now queen c4. And the difference in the heavy pieces is just remarkable. Yeah, he dominates the white squares, as often happens in the French and the Caro-Kann. It's sort of a white square opening, and you see great observation by Master Viryatovich. Excellent observation. All these guys, I want to make a green. What did I do? Oh, I pressed something. Is the board okay? I think it's okay. I want to get the green, the color green. Yeah. We have all these pieces on the light squares. And all the white pieces on what? The black squares. So wonderful sort of square strategy. He's dominating, he's penetrating on the light squares. And meanwhile, notice the king safety. White has a very bad king, but the black king is completely safe on g6. I want to make it blue now. And blue, dabba-dee dabba-da. But now, yeah, we have pressure on d4, pressure on f4, and we can think about penetrating the first rank. Another weakness here. This is a hopeless position for white. b5. You know, adding more fuel to the fire. Nimzovitsch, you're about to be terminated. King g1, b4, just improving the position. And this is typical Capablanca. The game seems so easy. You know, it seems on the surface he does nothing very fire, come on, let's go. Seems like he's, you know, not doing anything like super special. But it's just beautiful. Beautiful chess. Nimzovitsch is relegated to moving his king back and forth. Nothing going on. Queen c1. And now queen h1. What can white do? Nothing. Now the king is stuck. And we're going to penetrate. Rook e1. This is coming. What to do? Rook f3. Bishop rook d1. b3 and rook c1. And this is apparently Zugzwang. After rook e3, rook to f1. Nimzovitsch resigned. He has to... Well, what can he do? Let's say queen e2. We play queen g1. You can't play this because I take the rook with check. And yeah, this will drop. Let's say king here. I mean, we can do whatever. I think rook f2 and take here should be sufficient. And the game is over. And notice, all the while, the king is sitting really pretty here on g6. So I think this is a really cool game.